Have you ever stood at the pinnacle, touched the glittering stars of fame and power, only for everything to crumble like a sandcastle before a storm? I myself once lived in that very moment. I was once the embodiment of success. Money, fame, top-tier connections, all within my grasp. My every decision was hailed, every step paved with roses. I was proud, arrogant, believing myself invincible. The world was at my feet, and I was the uncrowned king of that realm. Lavish parties, unlimited travel, endless flattery. My life then was a grand symphony of glory. But then, fate smiled a sarcastic smile. An unforeseen event, a tiny mistake, or perhaps my own arrogance, dragged everything into a bottomless abyss. Money vanished, fame turned to ash. Those who once surrounded me disappeared like morning mist. Friends, relatives, people I had helped now turned their backs, avoided me. Their eyes no longer held admiration, but only pity, or worse, aversion. I wandered through my house, once a palace, now just an empty shell. Everything became meaningless. The laughter of neighborhood children became torture, reminding me of what I had lost. Each morning was a burden, each night haunted by the past. There were times when despair was so overwhelming that I considered death as an escape, a liberation from this shame and destitution. But fate still held a tiny spark of light. In the darkest moments, when it seemed there was nothing left to lose, I began to look within. Not to find fault in others, but to examine myself. I asked, who am I without all that glamour? Where does my true worth lie? It was in that solitude that I began to find the simplest things. A warm bowl of rice, a dreamless sleep, a ray of morning sun through the window. And failure is not an end, but a new chapter, a valuable lesson for me to grow. That process was not easy. It was a period of self-reflection, of silent tears, and of the first faltering steps on a new path. I realized that a person's worth is not in their possessions or their achieved fame, but in their inner strength, in their ability to rise after falling. Now, I am no longer the king of yesteryear. My life is simpler, but my soul is more at peace than ever. I have found true wealth, tranquility in my soul, freedom from material burdens, and genuine, selfless relationships. I have learned that happiness is not a destination, but a journey. And failure is not an end, but a new chapter, a valuable lesson for me to grow. You see, if you are at rock bottom, if you feel like life has turned its back on you, trust me, you are not alone. And more importantly, you still have a chance to rise. Remember, scars are not signs of weakness, but proof that you have survived, you have fought, and you have become stronger. Failure does not define you. How you face and overcome it defines who you are. Allow yourself to grieve, but don't allow yourself to fall forever. Peace is not the absence of storms, but the ability to find stillness within the storm. Take a deep breath, hold your own hands tightly, and keep going. Because you deserve a peaceful and happy life. Don't give up. The road ahead may still be challenging, but the light of peace always awaits you at the end of the journey. Perhaps the most precious thing we find after the storm is not what we gain, but who we become. May your own journey lead you to that profound stillness, that true wealth within.